Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you saw by the title, we will be doing I almost said eyeshadow palette. No, sorry. We will be doing a makeup, wow, why can't I think of the word? We will be doing a face palette collection video. So I couldn't decide between ranking my face palettes or just doing a face palette collection. I don't know which one for sure I'm going to go with. I'll tell you them in order of least favorite to favorite, but I'll just be, talking about the palette and not so much focusing on the ranking. Just so it's kind of like a face palette collection plus a little bit of ranking. So hopefully we get the best of both worlds that way. Yeah, I've ranked my eyeshadow palette so far, and then I've done a lip gloss collection video. I haven't really I haven't really dipped into any other kind of category so much. None of them are super exciting anyway. Like mascara, I don't know. I feel like that's not a whole video that I need to be doing. And January is right around the corner, so I'll be doing my makeup inventory soon, as well as like some chopping block videos, and then finally a declutter will be soon, well, before the inventory, but you know what I mean. So we'll be doing a declutter soon. So a lot of collection kind of type videos around the corner. I also used to do a weekly shop my stash. I won't be for this month, but I have a few. I can link the playlist if you'd like. And if you want to see my collection a little bit more in depth with that, if you have any ideas of how to include some other videos, let me know down below. Like if you want to see my foundations or like my concealers, let me know for sure. I've gotten quite a few new ones, so that one might be interesting to maybe rank them or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that was a lot to introduce. Not really necessary, but I did it anyway, so let's just get started. My cousin came over, she's 4, and she wanted to do my makeup, so she dipped this brush in one of my cream highlighters, and now it's like disgusting. It's gonna be a crackhead to get off, because trying to get cream products off of like brushes like these is so hard. Okay, whatever. Funny. Okay, so I don't know what personally most people count as a face palette. I'm counting duos as a face palette because you get multiple of one thing in a palette, but also I'm counting like I have a blush palette and a highlighting palette that I'm counting as face palettes as well. Don't know if most people do, but that's just how we're gonna do it, I suppose. Let's start on the top this time. So this is probably my favorite palette out of my collection. Again, I'm not focusing on the ranking as much as like the palette. This is the Tarte, I always want to say this blush book. This is the this blush book. That makes no sense. This is the Tarte blush book. It just says Tartelette, whatever. I don't know, it doesn't have a volume on here, but this is their 2018 holiday release. I have all the shades in something else. I actually have all the shades in here, kind of spread out, plus an extra one. I like this a little bit better than the book because they're close enough that I can mix them and really, like, I don't know, see what I want. I feel like the book is just a little bit thick, and I don't like storing it as much. Like, I like it more on display than I like storing it, so I like this a little bit better. But I love these blushes. There's a bronzer and a highlight in here. I don't use them so much, but I know that I've used them. I used them a little bit ago, and I know that I can get use out of both of them if I just feel like it, So if I wanted to just take this palette somewhere, I'm okay because I have a bronzer, a highlighter, and a bunch of options for blush, and I can also use them as eyeshadows. Like, it's just so versatile. I love this palette so much. This year they came out with, I can put up a picture. This year they came out with stacks. I want them so bad, and I'm probably gonna get them eventually, but just not right now. But anyway, this palette, I love it. The formula lasts all day. You get such an array of shades as well. You can see, like, this one is like a bright pink. This is like an orangey, more peachy kind of shade. This is like a blue, undertone blue pink kind of shade. This one's more neutral, and then you have like your really more neutrals over here on this side. This one doesn't belong in the palette, but these three do. So those are just the more neutral kind of shades. Again, more peachy neutral. You just have so many options. It is such a great blush book, or face palette, if you will, because there's the bronzer and blush in it. I just love it, and Tarte blushes are my absolute favorite. So total win. love that one. Next, again, down the line is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. I'm obsessed with this palette. Like, I love it so much. It's not even funny. Would I have bought it on my own? Probably not. Like, I wasn't even eyeing this, but I got this at Ipsy, and I'm so glad that I did. This blush shade is stunning. The bronzer shade, I don't love a glowy bronzer as much as I like a glowy blush or glowy highlight. I'm just not a huge fan of my bronzer being glowy in general, but I did get some use out of that over the summer. And then the cream highlighter is really, really nice too. This highlighter here, the shade Maldives, is stunning. Again, I like this palette because it's a very, like, you get a lot in one little palette. It's very sleek, it's very small. Just throw it in your makeup bag. There are smaller face palettes if you really want to, because it's kind of like the size of my head, but I feel like it's very small for what you get in it. You get 4 different huge products, and it's great. The hard thing with face palettes is, like, are you gonna like every single one of the shades? And for a lot of my palettes, the answer is no, I don't like every single one of the shade, but I still love them enough that I'm gonna use the rest of the shades, or I can't even get use out of the shades that I don't love as much, you know? So, bittersweet getting an entire face palette. I'm a sucker for face palettes. I love having everything in one, just being able to do my bronzer, blush, highlighter, boom, boom, boom. I love that. Or I love to even mix and match with my face palettes, but I just love being able to mix around the shades in a palette, so I love them. This is the Ofra and the next face palette, the Ofra and Madison Miller Midi palette, the Miller Squad palette or whatever. First off, the packaging is white. You can't even see, but it is disgustingly dirty. And honestly, I'm like, I'm not even going to clean it because I know it's just going to get dirty tomorrow when I use it anyway, or whenever the next day, you know? So it's like, whatever. This palette comes with 2 highlighters and a blush. And honestly, Ofra blush formulas, the Ofra blush formula is not my favorite. It swatches really, really nice, but it does not go on the face this easily. You have to really, really build it up to get some color on at all. But I love this shade. I think it is a really, really nice shade. I wish the formula was a lot, maybe like loose. It's really hard pressed. It's pressed really, really hard in the pan. That's what I was trying to say. And so I feel like not a lot of pigment comes off of it. So if they kind of did that differently, it might be better. The highlights are beautiful. They're not like my favorite top highlights, but they are really, really nice. Ofra does it right with their highlighters. If you want to see them there. All around, I like this palette. Isn't my top favorite? No, but it's a good one. It's a good one. So yeah, not much said. Again, I really like having blush and highlighters in there because I can mix and because I can mix and match with them, and that's really, really nice. I enjoy that a lot, and I love that palette. I love that palette. I love that blush shade too. It just takes a lot, and that's annoying, but I would go through it just to get that pretty blush shade on my face, you know? Alright, so then next we have this duo, which I wanted to mention. Again, kind of going down on the line, 4th place, I guess, I would give to this e.l.f. duo. Yes, I know, she's a drugstore lady. This is the e.l.f. duo in the shade Fiji. I love this duo with all of my heart. This blush is absolutely stunning. I need to give it more use because I really don't. But this blush is beautiful. Like, beautiful. It just is such a light, easy. You can't even really see it because it's just such a light, easy, very soft, blushing kind of shade. And I love it. I'm obsessed. I absolutely love it. The bronzer here too, it might work better for me in the fall because it is super, super light. It's not super light, but it's like kind of like my skin tone right now. So it's not the perfect bronzer shade for me. I wish like palettes, I don't know, because it's always hard because it's like if you go darker with the bronzer, they might go darker with the blush, and it's like I don't want a darker blush. This is the perfect blush for me, but I want a different shade of bronzer, you know? So it's bittersweet again when you get palettes, but these duos are phenomenal. There was another duo in the shade Saint Lucia. That one's way too light for me. Like, it didn't work for me at all. And then they have a duo, don't remember the name, but they have another darker duo that I'm eyeing. I've always eyed. Like, I always add it to my cart. I think it's double blushes though. But I always add it to my e.l.f. cart because I'm like, might as well, you know, one day when there's a sale. So, love this. I really recommend if you want a really good bronzer blush in one thing, like just one place, one-stop shop, check out e.l.f. e.l.f. has some really great products, and they've been kicking it out of the park recently, and they came out with a new collab, and I'm interested. Okay, so then the next palette that I wanted to talk to you about, I don't even know where to like. So this is the last multiple product kind of face palette, so I'm just gonna put this in here. This is the Balm in Your Hands Greatest Hits Volume 2 palette. So this is why this one's kind of 5th place for my face palettes that have multiple things in it, not just like one thing in it, if that makes sense. So not just I'm not really counting my blush and my highlighter palette in this ranking right now. Because it's a little hard to compete with all blushes because I love me some blush. Anyway, this has 3 blushes, a bronzer, a highlighter, and some eyeshadows. I don't really use the eyeshadows, so that's why I just straight up count this as a face palette. I feel like it's more of a face palette for me anyway. I like the blushes in here. Like the bronzer is too light for me, but I like it mixing it with other shades. It's really soft, nice bronzer. And then the highlighter's pretty as well. A little bit, I have to be really gentle with it because it could be too light for me on the face, like look like white across my face. But I do, again, I like the blushes. This is a So-So palette. I was really excited about it, and I really do like if I'm going on somewhere and I just want one palette, just pack one palette, maybe some brushes, and that's it. This is the palette I would bring because it has the blushes, everything in it. I just feel like on a day-to-day use, I'm not using this because the blush shades are not like my favorite tones. They look like it in the pans, but they come off a lot more pink on the face. And they're just not my favorite tones. Again, the bronzer's too light for me, the highlight's too light for me, and I don't really like the eyeshadows, or I don't really use the eyeshadows. So it's like, what am I even using this for? The blushes. But again, I think in the fall I'll get a lot more use out of the bronzer and the highlight, as well as the blushes, because you know, I'll be reaching for this palette a little bit more. But this is something that, again, is kind of just there when I need a one-stop shop kind of palette, you know. Not my favorite, like not my first reach out of all my, I would rather reach for all my other face palettes before this one, if I'm looking for a bronzer, blush, highlighter in one palette. So yeah, So-So, she's a So-So product. Anyway, let's just hurry up and talk about these last 2. This video is not too long, but let's just not make it any longer. Next are my all highlighter palette and my all blush palette. This is the e.l.f. What are you called? The e.l.f. Glow Gleam Beam highlighter palette. I love this palette. Again, another product I just have to use more. These are the metallic flare highlighters down here. I really like those. And then these 2 are just regular shimmer shades. And then this one's actually a glitter, which I think is the worst idea e.l.f. made when they made this palette. Nobody wants a freaking glitter. Like, this is stupid. It's like it barely picks up. You have to like scrape in there and you don't get anything on your finger. Like, I don't want that. I mean, I guess maybe someone somewhere is loving that, but I'm not. I think they should have just stuck to a shimmer and then it would have been better. But I do really love all the other shades. Whoa, my hair. Mixing and matching, like the shimmers and the metallic flare highlighters are bomb. Like the middle 2 right here, just mixing these 2 is so stunning. Even like mixing anything, like mixing all around is so stunning. I love this palette. Again, it's something I have to get more use out of because I have a lot of highlighters. But yeah, I love it. I think it's worth a pickup if you love highlighters. Same with this NYX blush palette. So bomb. I don't feel like I need any other blushes really in my life because I have so many blushes in between all these palettes. And then this one, I have every blush shade I'll ever need and my singles. Like, it's ridiculous. But I would rather use a blush palette than a blush single just because I can mix and match and, you know, combine and get... I'm like shaking it all around and combine and get what I really, really want on the cheeks and not just stick to one single shade. This one's probably the only one that I won't ever dip into. I feel like all the rest of them I could probably mix and match around. Like, I might not use this one alone, but I probably mix these 2 or mix even like the neutrals over here. This one I just don't like that. It's like that blue, people call it like that blue pink because it's so pink. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, like, oh. Yeah, I don't know about that blush, but I love this palette, and I think I love a good blush formula. This is the shimmery blushes. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. You get like a lot of variety in here, which again I love because you get to try, dip and mix and everything like that. So I'm just like a broken record at this point. That's what I love about face palettes. They're so versatile. You can mix and match and twist and jump and everything, and it can be great. Again, I'm a sucker for face palettes. So that was it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Super easy, super quick. We're gonna do a verse and then we'll be done. So this is Matthew 6 verse 12. Do for other people whatever you would like to have them do for you. This is what the Jewish law and the early preachers said. And this is in the red text, so if you guys know anything about the Bible, the red text means God is saying it. Jesus is saying it. Those are his words. And it is so true. Do unto others. You guys know the golden rule. Do unto others, you'd have them do unto you. people could just go around and they're rude and nasty, and they expect everyone to be nice to them like it's something that they earned, and it's like, you didn't earn that. You're rude and you're nasty. And so I really am a strong believer, you know, if you want people to treat you with respect, then you need to treat them with respect. There's this whole thing now, and I don't want to go on too long, but there's this whole thing now where people think like, well, he doesn't respect me, so I'm not going to respect him, or like, he has to respect me first before I respect him. And it's like, no, you need to do what you need to show them what you'd like from them, you know, if that makes sense. So if I want someone to be nice to me, I'm going to be nice to them, because that's just, you know, how it should be. It shouldn't be like, they're not nice to me, I'm not gonna be nice to them, or they need to be nice to me first. Like, no. It's this whole thing that just needs to not happen. So yeah. That's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the verse, you know what to do. Comment down below or DM me at makeup_marissa612. Give this video a thumbs up if you like face palettes. Comment your favorite face palette down below, because I mean, I don't need any more, but I could always expand the collection a little bit. I'm getting over being sick. It'll be gone in Jesus' name. Amen. So now that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Subscribe.